not download it. Bio isn't body? Like my body?
Hey everyone, imagine this. You're hacking into a massive corporate building, dodging lasers and solving retro puzzles inspired by one of the most iconic Atari games ever made. Yars Rising takes a classic and turns it into a modern Metroidvania with twists you never saw coming. But is it worth your time? Or should it stay buried in the archives of gaming history? Let's find out. The first thing that hit me about Yars Rising is how bold it feels. This isn't just some half-baked reboot, it's Wayforward and Atari's taking on a 1980s classic and reimagining it as a modern side-scrolling action game. The Metroidvania vibes are obvious from the get-go, and the retro-inspired hacking puzzles immediately stand out as a love letter to the original Yars Revenge. But here's the real kicker. While Yars Rising leans heavily on nostalgia, it's not just for die-hard Atari fans. The game's vibrant personality and quirky protagonist Emmy make it accessible for anyone jumping in fresh. I'll admit, I was skeptical at first. Another retro reboot? So let's find out what Yars Rising brings to the table. I'll take a look at the story, the gameplay mechanics, visuals and music, and finish up with my final thoughts. Let's dive in. The story of Yars Rising is where the charm really shines. You play as Emi Kimura, a sarcastic and rebellious hacker who's taking on her shady employer Q-Tech. What starts as a simple corporate takedown quickly spirals into a deeper conspiracy involving monsters, tech experiments, and Emi's own mysterious past. What makes this narrative pop is the punk rock energy Emi brings to every interaction. She's got a quick wit, hilarious one-liners, and a knack for breaking the tension, even when she's crawling through air vents or dodging killer robots.
I've known.
Her supporting cast also adds a lot of personality. Mal, her ride-or-die best friend, keeps things grounded. Kid Bash, a fellow hacker, provides a fun dynamic with just a hint of romance, and Refresh, the quirky tech guy, is packed with Gen Z humor that somehow lands without feeling forced. Even the villains are memorable, especially Miss Davidson, who feels like the perfect mix of corporate menace and over-the-top comic book villainy.
What's going on here?
Alright, let's talk gameplay, because this is where Yars Rising truly earns its stripes. At its core, it's a Metroidvania, so expect plenty of backtracking, unlocking new abilities, and exploring interconnected maps. Emi starts out with basic moves, jumping, crawling, stealth, but as you progress you unlock powers like a wall jump, dash, and even a missile shot. But the real twist? The hacking puzzles. These mini-games are modernized takes on classic Yars Revenge gameplay. Each puzzle has you taking down enemy defenses using the iconic Zorlon cannon. They're fast-paced, challenging, and surprisingly rewarding. Just don't expect too much hand-holding, these puzzles will test your reflexes and patience. And speaking of difficulty, the bosses are no joke. These multi-phase fights demand strategy, precision, and a whole lot of trial and error. But every victory feels hard-earned, and that's what makes them so satisfying. My only gripe would be the enemy variety, and some of the platforming sections can feel a bit repetitive. But the mix of combat, puzzles, and exploration keeps the overall experience fresh.
And stay the hell out of my way.
As you wish.
Visually, Yars Rising has a style that feels retro but modern all at the same time. The environments are colorful, and the comic book-inspired cutscenes add a lot of personality to the storytelling. But the real MVP? The soundtrack. Seriously. I didn't expect this level of bangers in a game like this. From Vocaloid-inspired tracks to high-energy rock ballads, the music keeps you pumped throughout the entire game. The sound design is also very solid. Every laser, explosion, and hacking sequence feels satisfying. Combine that with Emi's stellar voice acting, and you've got a game that oozes charm. So, is Yars Rising worth your time? I'd say absolutely. Especially if you're a fan of Metroidvanias or retro-inspired games. While it's not perfect, enemy variety and some backtracking issues hold it back, it's an ambitious reboot that nails the balance between nostalgia and innovation. Emi's humor, the challenging hacking puzzles, and that killer soundtrack make this a game I thoroughly enjoyed. At around 10 to 15 hours, it's a perfect for a weekend game binge. If you're a fan of reboots or just love a good underdog story, give Yars Rising a shot. And hey, if you enjoyed this review, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more gaming content. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite Atari classic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.